I know it's early Monday morning, but it's not April the 1st. We have a rumor that says that Canon's going to replace the Canon EOS R5 with not one, but two cameras. Now, is this the ramblings of a crazy person, or does this make a lot of sense? We got all the details coming up after this short break, but first, please do me a favor. Follow me on Twitter, but most importantly, please subscribe to this channel. It doesn't cost you anything, and it really does help this channel grow. Look, I'm just 300 subscribers away from 40,000. Come on, just go ahead, press that subscribe button. Great, perfect, thank you. What could Canon be up to here? I mean, if this is true, this is rated as a CR1 from Canon Rumors. Could Canon be taking the Canon EOS R5 and doing what it did with the EOS R and not continuing it and replacing it with two unrelated models? Well, potentially. Or could Canon be doing something a little bit more, well, logical, like having a photocentric camera and a videocentric camera? Is this unprecedented? Well, Canon Rumors had this to say about it, as we saw what Canon did with the EOS 5D Mark III. If you'll remember, Canon added both the EOS 5D SR and the EOS 5DS to give the 5D series options. Okay, all right, I know what you're thinking. Simon, we already have two R5 cameras. We have a photocentric camera and a videocentric camera. And photographers might disagree with you. They wouldn't call the Canon EOS R5 as a photocentric camera, and I agree, it's more of a true hybrid. And the R5C is definitely a videocentric, and it goes a little bit further than that. It's got the C badge, meaning that it's a cinema camera. And no, it doesn't have internal ND filters or an SDI out, but it does have some capabilities that really make it a videocentric camera, far more so than the FX3 to the Sony a7S III, because the a7S III is already a videocentric camera and the FX3 doesn't really change that, whereas the Canon EOS R5C actually has the cinema operating system. It really is a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. You've got two very different camera operating systems, one for the photo side and one for the video side. So if we've already got a really true videocentric camera in the EOS R5C, then what would Canon possibly be doing? Does this make any sense? Or again, is this just the ramblings of a crazy person? All we have to do is go back to 2020 or even 2019, and there were rumblings of a high megapixel version that was supposed to be coming out. At first it was for the 5D Mark V, which turned out to be the Canon EOS R5 with the 5D Mark V being canceled. A high megapixel version of that camera. We've been hearing about it every, well, 6 to 8 months, talking about a camera produced by Canon that was going to be capable of producing 100 plus megapixels, and it was going to be around 100 to 105 megapixels. But we never hear more than, well, just a minor, well, an odd mention to it every now and then. No detailed leak specifications, no pricing, other than it's going to be based on the 5 series, which it always has been. The 5D Mark III, the 5D Mark IV. So an R5 SR or a R5S or Mark IIX or whatever it's going to be called. I mean, it's certainly plausible, it certainly makes sense. The only problem with this mention on Canon Rumors, this CR1, is it doesn't, again, give us any specifications. It doesn't give us any pricing, and it doesn't give us any time frame. It doesn't really satisfy anything. It's kind of like having one of those snacks. You're really, really hungry, you bite into it, and you just think, I need a drink, I'm thirsty now, but I don't feel any better off. I'm still hungry, I'm still unsatisfied. So here we are Monday morning with an interesting rumor from Canon Rumors saying that we might be getting two models to replace the Canon EOS R5, a Canon EOS R5 Mark II, and a high megapixel version of that. And again, that's just conjecture. What do you think? And if we were to get two cameras to replace the Canon EOS R5, what would you do? Now, would you come out with one that doesn't do video in any way whatsoever? Or would you come out with a high megapixel version? Because even a high megapixel version, well, aims at a very, very small crowd, a smaller crowd than a photo camera only. Yeah, I'm not too sure about this one. It is a CR1, and certainly there is a track record of coming out with two different cameras, a high megapixel version and a regular one. But I'm wondering, as the market keeps declining, is there such a need for such a camera? I'm really curious. And of course, I know it, yes, Greg, yes, an Astro camera of the R5, it's certainly plausible, but I think that would be targeting an even smaller market. Now, I think one of the most plausible options here is a high megapixel version of the R5, and then just a regular successor to the R5 in the R5 Mark II. Yeah, Yeah, Monday morning. I see. And you know what? When I first read this, I'm thinking like, 2 cameras. What is Canon planning here? If this is coming from Canon, because again, when this is a CR1, it's coming from an unknown source. It hasn't been validated, so it's just more or less conjecture. It's water cooler talk. Well, when we used to hang around water coolers or coffee makers and have a chat, but now most of us are working from home, so there's that. The world has changed. So maybe if the world has changed, the world is ready for 2 successors to the Canon EOS R5. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. And don't forget to subscribe and choose all notifications if you want to stay up to date on all the latest camera news and rumors. For all the minor camera news and rumors, then follow me on my Twitter channel at Ordinary Filmmaker. For all those news stories that aren't quite big enough to have their own separate video, well, those get tweeted out there. And also big sales, like right now, I can't believe this, the Canon EOS R5 is on sale for $500 off. And it even comes with a battery grip worth another $350. That's a pretty significant savings. But we also have sales on Nikon, the Nikon Z7 Mark II and the Nikon Z6 Mark III at $400 and $300 off respectively. But that's not all. Sony also has sales on. So whenever I see sales like this, especially on a Monday morning when camera companies decide they want to, change things up, or Adorama and B&H decide, well, this is going to be our deal of the day, then those are the kind of things that I like to tweet out. But that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching. Have yourself a great week. And don't forget, on May the 10th at 7 o'clock in the morning, I'm doing a live stream. We're going to introduce a new product from Nikon, and many believe, including myself, that it's going to be the Nikon Z8, some lenses, and maybe even a few accessories. So join me at 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to have several guests, and one of those guests I believe is going to be Craig Blair. We've been talking about this, so it's not 100% at this point. It's looking like a definite maybe at around 75%. So show up Monday morning at 7 o'clock. We're going to have some Nikon guests, we're going to have some Canon guests, and we're going to talk about what this new camera is going to be that Nikon's going to be announced just 1 hour later at 8 a.m. Could it be the answer to the Canon EOS R5? Could Nikon have a camera that's going to be better than the Canon EOS R5? Well, I certainly hope so, as it's been 3 years since Canon released the R5, and we're already talking about 2 cameras to replace the R5 Mark II, a high megapixel version, and of course, just the standard R5 Mark II. But that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching. Have yourself a great week, and we'll see you again soon.